Welcome to the inaugural edition of the Grail Sermon, the series of long-term sports talk events with the Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform launched recently. And we are elated to have a senior Olympian and 17 international medal winner, and now the founder of MaxFit India, a sports physiotherapy and fitness training company, Mr. Parag Patil, with us today. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Mr.
Thank you,
Patil. How
Gaurav.
are you?
Good afternoon. I'm perfect. I have to be by no choice.
We're really joyed to have you, and thank you for gracing our platform with your August company in this first ever edition of the series.
Thank you
I'm
very much,
sure your
Gautam, for
presence,
inviting me.
I'm sure your
Yeah,
presence will lead us to good heights.
definitely.
So, Mr. Patil, the reason why I'm so joyous to have you on our first ever edition is because due to the current circumstances which we find ourselves in and the ramifications which have arisen, I think that you can be a very good example to not only inspire people for the impending uh, Olympic Games, which are going to happen in July, but also to tell people that you can traverse any hardships, especially the coronavirus, if you have resilience and fortitude like you have in life. If I would like to give the viewers here a little backdrop about Mr. Patil. So Mr. Patil is a senior Olympian who has won 17 international medals in triple jump for India. And why his achievements and laurels are more so notable and wholesome is because he achieved these at an age when most of us think about retiring, especially for people and sporting personnel who are in the fraternity. But Mr. Patil's endeavor, his guile, his grit was unnerving, and he did these things despite coming from a background where he was not accorded any funds, despite facing hardships which most of us will stumble at, and at an age where your body gives up. So, Mr. Patil, I would like to start by asking you that your background is something which is very important to where you are today. You started your, I would say, your amateur career in running and triple jump and athletics by running behind your school bus when you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, would you like to elaborate on the importance of why? And as far as I've seen your background, I've been in touch with you, I've talked to you. You have always stayed true to your roots, even when you were doing your master's in science, which very few people know about. You
Yeah.
still were participating in relays and triple jump events, and you also had a job at that time, and
Yeah.
you did all this so that you could maintain a fine balance between your family life and you could also support them and you could carry on with what drove you in life as well. So
Yeah.
would you like to elaborate on how important your background, your family is to where you are today, and also how tough it was to manage a fine balance between your family and your job and your athletic career?
Definitely, Gautam. First is that how I became a runner. That is this one. I will tell you a little story about it. I was studying in Hindustan Antibiotic School, which is located in Pimpri and which is owned by Hindustan Antibiotics company, which is the first antibiotic company in India. So the scene was this school was round about 1.5 kilometer away from the bus stop where I used to take a bus. And 5:35, there was a bus which was going near to my home. Means it was like it's just a 1 or 2 minute walk from bus stop to my home. So to catch that bus, otherwise I have to get down to the another bus stop and I have to walk for 3 to 4 kilometers to go to the home. So 5:35 was that bus timing. So 5:30, as the bell, my concentration was so high at that time also. First a ring of a bell, I used to pack my bag, put it on my shoulders, and I used to start running. So if I missed that bus from that bus stop, then I used to run behind the bus and to catch it for the next bus stop. So this was my routine in my school days, and at that time, my history teacher, Mr. Mahajan, you might know vehicle called as TVS 50.
Mhm.
At that time, it was the biggest vehicle in 1988, 87, 88. So at that time, he used to drive and encourage me for that. And I was running behind him. But within few months, I started running with him. He was on the TVS 50 and I was running. So I started with that, and then I went to some inter-school competitions and all these things. Then my actual career started in 89 when I participated in first inter-school competitions. I started as a long distance runner. I used to run 3000 meter, 5000 meter, and 10K and all these things. And I was under 14. And as I was running the long distance, the first state competition I ran with the under 17 boys, means one grade, one age group above, not below. The people say that run below, but I started my competitions one age group above. So from that, then of course the background, the family background affects a lot. I'm very proud to say, till this date, this 17 international medals, I bagged this on just roti and vegetables. No supplements, no most of the dry fruits and all these things, because I was not able to afford that. When I was in school, we used to wear slippers and all these things. The routine was go to the ground, remove your slippers, and then go for the long runs and all these things. You might remember the Dangal scene where the Amir Khan is on his scooter and Geeta and Babita are running. So same was with us. Our coach was on the Bajaj Chetak, and we used to run. So we were barefoot. So there were no good roads as we have now. So we were running in odd and even places and all these things. So there were lots of cuts due to glasses, thrones, and all these things. But we were not allowed to stop. Remove that throne or glass, whatever it is. The blood is coming out or not, doesn't matter. You have to complete the races, or you have to complete the workout. Means our workout was in such a fashion, if you are omitting, go omit and come back on a ground again. In sports, in basically athletics, we called it as a तारे दिखना, मतलब कुछ भी सामने नहीं दिख रहा, पूरा चक्कर सा वगैरह. So in that situation also, it was like fall on the ground, start doing your workout. If you fall on the ground, I will make sure that I will take you to the hospitals, but no stoppage at all. So that kind of workouts we have done, and that's the reason we are still performers. So that was a dedication, and that was the things which coach and our teachers have empowered in ourselves in such a manner that आज भी तिरंगे के सिवा कुछ नहीं दिखता है. So that patriotism.
Sir, I will stop you here because
Yeah,
you really need a round of applause for this, sir. Because most of the time, every time we see young athletes in their process and they see something bad and they stop their preparation. So, sir,
Yeah.
round of applause to again to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Then one thing is that as a sports person, I continued till my graduation. As a sports person, a lot of people say that, oh, he might have studied in arts or commerce, where the studies and all these things are not so good. They don't have to study so that they can focus on the sports and all these things. So I was the cadet for NCC also. I have completed my C certificate in B grade. In college life, continuous 4 years, I was a best athlete, and I used to participate in each and every game. So the thought comes that, okay, arts commerce wala banda hai. That is a thought. But I am the BSc chemistry first class graduate from science background in chemistry, first class from Pune University, which is highly impossible in Pune University to get the first class. In 2000, I was the blacklisted student in my college because I was completely on ground. Means you can just imagine I'm the person who had just completed his 3 years of graduation with just 100 pages full-scale book. 3 years. The same book I used to continue. So no lectures and nothing else. But thanks to the sports and NCC, where we are getting a lot of grasping power, participation power, where we are very lacking to participate also. We are very afraid that mental fitness and ability to work at any of the conditions. So these are the sports and NCC are much more required. And one more thing I would like to tell, that ground or sports is the only one medium where we are learning how to get up after fall down, whether it is wound, whether it is pain, or whether it is in any of a condition after fall down. The ground and the sports is only one medium where we can learn how to get up. That is, we called it as a bounce back now, and go for your goals. So this is what the sports and NCC have taught me. Then in 2000, when I passed my graduation, I started my job. As I'm from humble background, my father was welder in one of the company. My mother was housewife, and I have a younger brother with me. So for that reason, I started my job. I used to work in a small workshop, which was a machine shop, and I was a helper there. My job profile was sweeping the floor, loading and unloading the material from the vehicle, then grinding or loading the material to the machines, packing and all these things. So that was my job, and the salary was 1200 rupees per month. So in that also there was a passion of sports. So I used to get up at 4:30 in the morning, go to the ground, practice till 7:15, come back home, get freshen up, take the cycle, drive almost 10 to 15 kilometers for the job. Again, after 4 o'clock, again come back at home, get freshen up, again on a ground for practice, and then have a dinner and go to the sleep. So this was my routine. And in 2005, I got a chance with to participate in Industrial Sports Association Games, which is held in Pune for only industrial people who are working. So in 2005, I represented my company, Varroc Engineering, where I alone ranked second in medal tally. And with the you are aware that Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, then KSB Pumps, SKF Engineering, and all these things, they have all very sports person in their company working. So in spite of that, I bagged 4 gold medals, and the medal tally was Bajaj Tata Motors was at first place. I alone was at second place with 4 golds, and Bajaj Auto was at third place. So that was a scene in 2005. Again, 2007, I represented Thermax Industries, and I bagged again Best Athlete Award over there. The biggest turning point was in 2010 when I was working also, and somehow I came to know that there are the first Veterans International Championship, which is held for about 30 athletes. And when I started, there was one dream to wear this tracksuit where the India logo, because this has to be earned. You cannot be presented, or you cannot buy it for your own. So it has to be earned. So after 22 years of hard practice and lots of adverse situations and all these things, I got a first chance to participate. And in that first game, I won 3 silver medals. Although there was lots of pressure, because I was first time I was participating with international athletes. So I did lots of a mistake, and due to that mistake, I went to the silver medal. Otherwise, it would have been 1 or 2 gold for sure. So that was my biggest turning point. And again, the participation works where your what are your capabilities and what are your drawbacks.
Mr.
Unless
Patil,
and
I'm
until you,
sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you, but I would like to talk about this point in your life because it's very intriguing, and I think it would make for an enthralling listen to everybody who's here. Because this is the part where you started international exposure, you started meeting international athletes who were being trained with the best of resources, who had the best of coaches, and who had world-class innovative technologies at their disposal. And like you
Yeah.
just mentioned, that is what led to you probably being devoid of a gold and you slipped to a silver. But you were
Yeah.
not dissuaded. Like, we have many sports personnel who are probably crestfallen at this point of their lives, and you see tales every day. They're not to be blamed as well, because some people actually come from very poor backgrounds where they have frugal resources, they have little to work with. But you did not let that hinder your progress in life. You went on to play the Senior Olympics in Italy, where you won a silver and 2 bronze for India. And then I think something which not even the best of athletes in India can achieve, athletes who have world-class sponsorships, who have world-class equipments at their disposal. You went on to play in the Australian Games, you won a string of medals for India over there, and you got
Yeah.
honored by the country's premier as well, which is
Yeah.
a mammoth achievement. I think that accolade is something, it's a laurel which is something improbable to achieve for. We have very little examples of such kind of athletes in India. Although
Yeah.
the Indian sporting arena today is at a very different stage. You have the government support, you have programs like the Fit India, you have Khelo India, you have the SAI has now opened up its academies to even non-athletes. You do have a lot happening in sports, but you still don't see athletes achieve what you achieved with, I would say, absolutely nothing at your disposal. So what is it that spurred you on in life? And when you look back at your journey, what would you attribute such consummate success to? You talked about your resilience, you talked about your perseverance. I think this is something which is the takeaway, and we would love to know more about that.
Actually, one thing is that what my coach taught me,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a single race to win or lose. I have to run much more races in my life to win or lose. So in sports, and second is that in Marathi we called it as "Baap dakhav nahi to shraddha ghal." That means perform or get out of that. So that kind of mindset we had with our coach. And second is that yes, the funds and all these things which are much more required. But if it is not there, you have to find the resources when you really focus on your goals. Now, my focus was absolutely, as being a sportsman. First focus is Tiranga. I wanted to be in a defense forces also, but unfortunately, I was not able to make true of it. But I'm serving to the Tiranga and to the nation through this. My personal goal is to win 100 medals for the country. And if you are capable of crossing the hurdles, not bypassing, I'm repeating here again, if you are capable to cross the hurdles, nothing can stop you to reach to your goal. Means for each and every, all these medals have his own story. But I will just tell you 3 stories, which is really the common people will say it is highly impossible to achieve that. So it can be a motivation also that those who are thinking that depression, stress, and all these things due to this pandemic situation. So first was that in Italy, 11 days of stay, normal people can have 22 times of meal, but I was just blessed with the 4 to 5 time meal and full stomach breakfast. So I competed with that, and I won 1 silver and 2 bronze in Italy. Second was in Senior Olympic 2017 in New Zealand. 25th April 2017 at 4:30 in the evening, I was competing my long jump. I got an accident. My knee was badly twisted over there. Physiotherapist refused to touch my knee. Doctor asked not to walk for the toilets also. I was taken out from the ground in the ambulance. And in this situation, nobody will dare to come back on a ground again. Second day, 6 o'clock, I got up. I asked my caretaker, Mr. Makarand Karkhanis, to get ready, and we are going to go on a ground. He said, "Are you gonna mad?" Because the triple jump event is such an event which is highly injury event in athletics, and while we perform the hop and step, there is nearly a load of 1 ton on your knee, where I was not able to walk properly also. So I went on a ground again. I performed. I jumped 10.60 meters and won a silver medal for the country. Third is 2019, where my sponsor ditched me at the last moment. I was just having $100 in my pocket. Sorry, 5,000 rupees in my pocket. When you have to travel from Mumbai to Delhi or Delhi to Mumbai for 9 to 10 days, at least you will carry 30 to 40,000 rupees in your pocket. Otherwise, you will say, okay, we will postpone the plan. But I was not in that this one. So I literally blackmailed my sponsors to just give an air ticket. So he provided me the air ticket, and just with the $100, that is 5,000 rupees in my pocket, I traveled. I took a flight to the Australia, that is Adelaide, and by meantime, I used my some relationships and all these things, connections, and I returned back with the 4 silvers and 1 bronze. And I don't know how this story was communicated to the Premier of South Australia, and he wrote a letter to me with all the appreciations and all these things. And I'm proud to say I'm the only one athlete in India who has received such a kind of appreciation letter from the South Australia government. Premier of South Australia is the head of ruling party as well as opposition party, as we called it as a governor. So at that position, getting a letter is a big achievement, I think so. So if you focus on a goal, hurdles, you can automatically overcome that. But you should be capable to cross that, not bypass that. If you bypass, you will never reach to the goal.
I think it is this fight and character which has ensured that you have gone on to further your sporting fraternity career, and you are now have advanced into your own company. So you opened MaxFit India, which is a sports physiotherapy company, and it is aimed at training athletes and probably providing them with things of which you were bereft of. So what I would like to ask you is, what was the journey like from being an athlete to opening a company? What were the hardships you faced, and how different was it? Although it's the same circuit, but obviously the stages and the things were different. So what is it like, and how is work at the moment?
Yeah, actually, what happened is when I went to Italy in 2013, I found a lot of people are on the ground. Means after finishing my competitions and all these things, I sat on one jogging track from morning 5 o'clock till evening in the night 11:30. not a single second that jogging track was unoccupied. So I thought, what exactly is that? And I had a communication with other athletes also, what exactly the fitness is going on and all these things. From that moment, I thought that no, I have it's my prime responsibility to make Indian society physically fit, as we are we have a lot of potentials to called as a developed country. When I started studying this and all these things, then I found the very true pillars of the developed countries. One is their defense, and second is their sports and fitness. If you see all the developed countries, you can see these two features at the top. So I cannot work with the defense forces and all these things because I'm not a part of that. So I thought that I should go with the sports fitness. If we are able to make the Indian society physically fit, then nothing can stop us to grow, and we can call it as a developed country. So and the second was there were a lot of diseases and depressions and means you can say mental illness as well as the physical illness. So and as we all know that exercise is the cheapest and the best media to get to overcome all these things. So I started studying some R&D and all these things with the things, and then it took me so that was the this one that it took me around about 5 years to get into this. Now, as my coach asked me, I went to my coach and I said, "Sir, I think so I can coach, and I want to become a coach." At that time, it was 29 years of practice and 11 international medals. I think so. This is the big achievement to be a coach. As we have seen that those who are practicing for 3 to 4 years and all these things, they are becoming a coach. But after 29 years of practice and 11 international medals, my coach said, he interviewed me and he said, "You are not eligible to coach." He said, "Study more, and if you feel that, okay, fine, you are knowledgeable enough, come to me, I will interview again, and if you are clear, then I will permit you." It took me 1 year and one international more. Means that is 30 years of practice and 12 international medals. I went to my coach and he interviewed me again and he said, "You are eligible for coaching, but on one condition." Just imagine what would be my situation कि सर 30 साल का practice already हो चुका है, बहुत सारा knowledge आ चुका है, और भी condition है. So he said, whenever I will call you, you have to be for the interview. If your knowledge is not up to the mark, you have to stop your coaching at that moment. So continuously I'm learning, I'm getting to the new technologies,
Right.
and whatever the happening in abroad. And the second part is that whatever I'm getting the knowledge, I'm trying to implement on myself first. Then work on it, how we can give to the Indian society. Because in India, exercise is like a burden. It is not enjoyable. So we made that whole thing into an enjoyable thing. Now what we do is we work from age 5 to 75 plus on 4 quadrants of our life, that is physical, mental, social, and emotional. There are a lot of parameters into it. I will not go into details of that. And the two taglines you can say of means if I have to explain my MaxFit India and Lecture India, then I can explain it into one line. We start from how to walk, how to climb a staircase, and we are going to end at international participation and winning the medals for the country. For MaxFit India, it is happy and independent old age life. So that we are providing. So that's why the age group is 5 to 75 plus, where we can take the athletes, we can empower the athletes as well as seniors to play for the country and win the shining medals for the country. And second is to make our old senior citizens happy and independent. So these are the main goals and visions of Max Fit India and Let's Run India.
And I think one area which is very important, like you stressed upon, that Indians find exercise and fitness to be a burden. But more so given the ongoing pandemic and the number of people who've been actually afflicted by this virus. I think we both hail from states which have been actually knackered by the COVID. So what would, if you could just stress upon a couple of things people can do fitness wise in the vicinity of their own houses, because we have a lockdown going on at the moment, which will ensure that not only healthy people, but people who have probably taken ill with the virus can also have a speedy recovery. So would you suggest something to them which they can do?
Sure, definitely. See, one thing is that I treat my body as a machine. If I take an example or comparison between car and our body.
Right.
Okay. Car has their air system, circulation system, exhaust system, right? Same it is with us also. It is not so different. If you treat your body as a body, you will be in a mess. Okay. When there is a scratch or something like that on a car, you are very feared and hyper and all these things, right? You immediately take that car or bike to the garage and all these things, and then you start repairing it or make it new look. But the question is for you both. When something happens in your body, are you immediately reacting to that?
Yeah, I think that is something which many people stay off.
Yeah. So if you treat your body as a machine, because we have a circulation, respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, exhaust system, and all these things. We have all these things, but we don't care about that. What the coronavirus or any of a disease affect your systems, that blood pressure or diabetes, it is due to poor circulation system. COVID is because of your poor respiratory system. And each and everything comes to your human system. Now, human system has a lot of things to do with that. But exercise, when your muscles are flexible and strengthened, then only they can be active. If they are not flexible and strengthened, they are stiffened, they will be non-active. So non-active cannot fight with anything. But active muscles, which might be of your hands, your system, or any of your things, because heart is also muscle. Your lungs are also muscles. So we need to strengthen them. We need to make active. When they are active, then only we can fight with the diseases or anything which comes up. So first thing is that you can do regular exercises for flexibility and strengthening. Without flexibility, you cannot obtain any kind of strengthening in your muscles. So flexibility is must to make your muscles active, and strengthen is to maintain that active and for longer time. It is not like that if I have done some flexibility exercise and now my flexibility is on, and then I can do this strengthening exercise, or just I can do a strengthening exercise without flexibility exercise. No, it is the bundle. Without a flexibility, you cannot do a strengthening exercise. So being at a home also, you can do a proper strengthening and flexibility exercises. Second is, do not panic. Why you are panicked? Because of your fear, your weak human system. So if you are strong enough, if your muscles are flexible and strengthened and active, you will never feel fear in your mind. So that is the main key. In Corona, a lot of people have died just because of fear and heart attack. And those who are affected mostly is the diseases like diabetes, influenza, or BP, and heart issues and all these things. They are getting affected. So if your human system is very strong, then you can fight with any of the diseases. Corona is very small. According to me, Corona is very small for fighting. So you can do the workouts. Flexibility and strengthening exercises are much more, and core exercises. Digestive system is much more important. And the lacking is we take water intake for granted.
Right.
The normal human life, human person has to intake 3.5 liters of water per day. But if you go through a survey also, you will find 1 or 2 liters is the 60 to 70% or 80% will address you just 1 or 2 liters, not more than that.
Right.
So water intake is also much more important, which has to be more than 3.5 liters per day.
Right.
I think that thank you so much for your inputs and your advice. And I myself am a testament to the advice you've just given, because I was fraught with the disease a couple of weeks back, and your regular guidance and helped me overcome, along with the MaxFit courses, which were quite helpful. And I thank you for your service to the country. Your story is definitely one of will, valor, and resolve. And it's great respect to have you here. I would like
Thank you.
shift.
Thank you, Rav.
I would like to shift the onus to Yash now, who would like to take up some questions in Hindi, so that we can also help give a little insight about you and health and fitness to our Hindi-speaking audience, and ensure that even they are enlightened.
Sure.
Thank you, Gautam. नमस्ते पाटिल सर. So मेरे 2 सवाल है हिंदी रीडर्स के लिए हमारी प्लेटफॉर्म पे. So पहला सवाल ये है कि जब कोई यंग एथलीट अपनी प्रिपरेशन या प्रोसेस में लगा होता है कि वो आगे चल के देश का नाम उज्जवल करेगा, तिरंगा लहराता हुआ दिखेगा, बट स्टार्टिंग में कुछ मुश्किलें आने पे वो छोड़ देता है. तो इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर आपसे बेटर कोई दे नहीं सकता कि आपने उस समय पे जो अचीव किया है वो लोग उसको छोड़ देते हैं. वो 10% मुश्किल आने पे ही चीजें छोड़ देते हैं, पर आप डटे रहे, लड़ते रहे और आज आप इस स्टेज पे पहुंचे. तो उन एथलीट्स को आप क्या राय देना चाहोगे कि वो अपनी प्रोसेस और प्रोग्रेशन को ना छोड़ें?
एक्चुअली इसमें फर्स्ट थिंग ये है कि कोई भी चीज में, एथलेटिक्स में या कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स में शॉर्टकट नहीं है.
राइट सर.
ओके, जब आप किसी भी प्रोसेस में जाते हो तो उसमें हार जीत तो कॉमन है. जैसे अगर मुझे आप बोलते 1988 में कि बाबा हाँ चल उसी समय पे एक इंटरनेशनल मेडल लेके आ जा, वो पॉसिबल नहीं था. कुछ चीज के लिए आपको समय देना पड़ता है, अपने आप को तैयार करना पड़ता है. जैसे 3 इडियट्स में एक बहुत अच्छा एक सेंटेंस है, एक डायलॉग है, सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो, एक्सेलेंस के पीछे भागो. जब आप एक्सेलेंस के पीछे भागते हो तो सक्सेस अपने आप आती है, और एक्सेलेंस आपको कोई परोस के नहीं देगा, उसके लिए आपको खुद ही प्रयास करना होगा. और 1 या 2 हार जीत से अगर आप हारने लगे या वो छोड़ने लगे तो आप लाइफ में बहुत सारी जगहों पे आप गिरने वाले हो, हारने वाले हो. ये स्पोर्ट्स एक सिर्फ माध्यम है जो आपको सिखा रहा है कि हारने के बाद भी आप जीत सकते हो. तो ये जो है, अगर आप आज के समय एक छोटी सी हार को लेके या छोटी सी हडल को लेके या छोटी सी मुश्किल को लेके आप एक बड़ी चीज करने से आप कतरा रहे हो, तो आगे चल के लाइफ में जब बड़ी बड़ी चीजें, मुश्किलें आएगी आपके सामने, तो आप क्या करोगे? तो ये जो छोटी छोटी जो चीजें हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीजों के साथ लिंक अप है.
हाँ जी सर.
जो आप छोटी छोटी चीजें करके ही आप बड़ी मुश्किल को आप हराने के प्रोसेस में आप हो। इट इज नॉट, ये ऐसे नहीं है कि आप पहले ही बहुत बड़ी चीज को हराने के पीछे लग जाओगे। आपको पता ही नहीं है क्योंकि आपने छोटी छोटी चीजों को हराया नहीं है, तो आप बड़ी चीज को कैसे हराओगे। और आज के डेट में ये देखा जा रहा है कि जब बड़ी मुश्किल आती है तो सुसाइड, डिप्रेशन, स्ट्रेस लेवल, एंगर, ये जो चीजें आ रही है ये उसी के कारण आ रही है क्योंकि आपको पता ही नहीं है उससे लड़ना कैसे है। आपको लड़ना कैसे है पता नहीं है तो हराना वो तो बहुत दूर की बात।
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी, बिल्कुल सही बोला सर। सर क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन इसलिए ही पूछा जाता है क्योंकि जब हम देखते हैं स्कूल कॉलेजों में, तो जब अंडर 14 में बहुत सारे लड़के लड़कियां पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, बट जैसे जैसे वो ग्रोथ रहते हैं वो हर्डल्स को पार नहीं कर पाते, वो हर्डल छोड़ देते हैं कि हम फ्लाइट मोड में चले जाते हैं अपने, कि
हाँ,
फाइट नहीं करते उस चीज को, फ्लाइट मोड पे रहते हैं। तो हमें जाके आगे जब इंटरनेशनल पे इंडियन एथलीट्स भेजने पड़ते हैं, तो समय वो प्लेयर्स होते ही नहीं है क्योंकि वो सब हर्डल्स को, छोटे छोटे हर्डल्स से हार के पीछे हो जाते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली।
हाँ जी सर। और सर मेरा आखिरी सवाल था आपसे कि जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि टोक्यो ओलंपिक आ रहा है, तो उसमें ओलंपिक प्लेयर्स को किन किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए कोविड गाइडलाइंस को लेके कि कोविड है, जिससे उनकी बॉडी बेटर स्ट्रेंथन हो, और किन किन चीजों से, जैसे आपने एक बताया डिहाइड्रेशन, स्ट्रेंथिंग एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एक्सरसाइज गो हैंड टू हैंड, और सर डाइट का कितना बड़ा महत्व है इसके अंदर।
और डाइट का भी बहुत बड़ा महत्व है, पर अपने यहाँ पे अभी इतना सब मिक्सिंग करके आ रहा है। और अपने जो लड़के हैं जो बहुत अच्छे फैमिली से है, उनको डाइट या उनके खाने पीने के कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। लेकिन जो मेरे जैसे मिडिल क्लास फैमिली है या जो हम्बल क्लास फैमिली से आते हैं, उनको मैं यही सलाह दूंगा कि आप खाने से ना चूके। और दूसरी है, अगर आपको जीतना है, अगर आपको परफॉर्म करना है, तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें जो है उसको आपको नजरअंदाज करना ही पड़ेगा। आपके पेट में है नहीं है, इससे तिरंगे को कोई लेना देना नहीं है।
बिल्कुल
आपको
सर।
तिरंगे को, मेरे तिरंगे को सिर्फ यही लेना देना है कि वहां पे तू गया है, मेरे लिए तू परफॉर्म कर रहा है, तो तुझे परफॉर्मेंस करके तुझे फाइट करना है। जीतना या हारना वो अलग बात है, लेकिन तुझे वहां पे फाइट करना है। क्योंकि तिरंगे को एक, अगर आप रिस्पेक्ट और फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी पे लोगे, जैसे हमारे जो सैनिक भाई है जो बहुत अनफेवरेबल एडवर्स कंडीशन में भी हमारी तिरंगे की रक्षा कर रहे हैं, अगर सोचिए उन्होंने अपने बारे में सोचा होता तो आज हम और आप ऐसे बात नहीं कर रहे होते। तो तिरंगे को जब आप फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी पे लेते हो तो खाना पीना, खुद की कंडीशन, खुद की मेंटल कंडीशन, फिजिकल कंडीशन, आपके फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन, आपके घर के कंडीशन, आपके पिताजी को क्या हुआ है, वाइफ को क्या हुआ है, या मुझे क्या हुआ है, ये सारी चीजें ग्राउंड पे मायने नहीं रखती। तो आपको उतना टफ, अगर आप इंडिया के लिए खेल रहे हो तो आपको उतना टफ बनना ही होगा कि वहां पे जाके आपको परफॉर्म करना है। हार या जीत वो बात अलग की है, लेकिन आप परफॉर्मेंस को भी आप अगर डाइवर्ट कर रहे हो तो फिर आप खिलाड़ी नहीं हो मेरे हिसाब से। सॉरी टू से दैट, क्योंकि मैं बहुत
बिल्कुल ठीक सर।
जो भी बात करता हूँ मैं बहुत स्ट्रेट करता हूँ। बिकॉज देश और तिरंगा ये मेरे लिए मेरी जान से भी प्यारा है। इसकी
बिल्कुल
वजह
सर।
से 2017 में जो किया कि अगर वहां पे कुछ थोड़ा भी ऊपर नीचे हो जाता तो आज मैं अपाहिज होता, लेकिन मैंने वो रिस्क भी लिया। तो आप अगर देश के लिए खेल रहे हो तो आपको हाईएस्ट टू हाईएस्ट रिस्क आपको लेना ही होगा। वो वहां पे कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है।
यस सर, थैंक यू सर। इसी पे मैं एक क्वेश्चन और ऐड करना चाहूंगा। जो आप तिरंगे की फीलिंग बता रहे हो, तो मैं वो फीलिंग जानना चाहता हूँ कि जब आप पोडियम पे खड़े होते हो और आपका देश का तिरंगा लहरा रहा होता है, नेशनल एंथम आता है, तो वो फीलिंग क्या है, उसके बारे में आप एक दो लाइनें बताइए कि कैसा आपको फील होता है।
वो वो जो फीलिंग है वो शब्दों में बयान नहीं हो सकती है।
हाँ जी
क्योंकि
सर।
जब आप तिरंगे को आप होल्ड करते हो आपके पीछे, या उसको आप रोल करते हो, क्योंकि आम रोल करना और वो सब वो एक अलग बात होती है। जैसे आप हम लोग क्रिकेट स्टेडियम में वगैरह देखते हैं, वो लहराते हैं और ऑल दिस। जब आप अचीव करते हो ना, क्योंकि उसमें वो जो अचीवमेंट होती है, जो होल्ड करना होता है ना, उसमें आपके बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। आपका खून पसीना, इतने सालों की मेहनत, लाखों लोगों की दुआएं, एक्सपेक्टेशंस एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स। और तब आंखों में आंसू तो होते हैं, लेकिन एक चेहरे पे ग्लो होता है। आपने कई सारे मेरे पिक्चर्स गूगल पे है, वो आपने देखे हुए थे। चेहरों पे ग्लो है, ठीक है, मैं अंदर नरिश्ड हूँ, सब कुछ हूँ, लेकिन जब इंडिया का जब तिरंगा होल्ड करता हूँ ना, तो एक अलग सा ग्लो आता है। और वो शब्दों में बयान करना बहुत मुश्किल है यार, सॉरी टू से दैट, बट वो अचीवमेंट की जब आप तिरंगा होल्ड करते हो ना, तो और वहाँ पे ऐसे होता है कि आप कई सारे कंट्रियों के लोगों को हरा के आप पोडियम पे चढ़ते हो।
हाँ जी सर।
तो एक विक्ट्री का वो फीलिंग आता है वो।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। बहुत अच्छा लगा ये हिंदी रीडर को पढ़ के। बहुत हुआ कि जितने भी यंग एथलीट्स हैं उनको ये मोटिवेशन फैक्टर दिखेगा कि जो एक तिरंगा पकड़ के और तिरंगा लहराते हुए जब हम दिखाएंगे, तो वो एक जोश और जो होता है ना कि आप सारी कठिनाई और सबको लेके पहुंचे उस जगह पर, जैसे उस चीज को लेते थे कर आप रिलीफ फीलिंग करते हो, जिसमें आपकी आंखें तो नम हो जाती है पर आपके फेस पे एक अलग ही चमक आ जाती है जो दूर से देखने में बनती है।
और दूसरी चीज होती है कि जब आप ये तिरंगा होल्ड करते हो ना, तब आपके ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा जिम्मेदारियां होती है।
हाँ जी सर।
क्योंकि आप देश को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो। तिरंगा आप जब होल्ड कर रहे हो, तो बहुत ज्यादा जिम्मेदारियां आ जाती है अपने ऊपर। तो वो जिम्मेदारी को ध्यान में रखते हुए ही आपको आगे का काम करना होता है।
हाँ जी सर। हाँ जी।
तो वो भी एक ख्याल रखना बहुत जरूरी होता है हमारे लिए।
चलो, थैंक यू सर। एंड गौतम, आई विल टेक बैक टू यू।
Thank you, Mr. Patil. It was a pleasure hearing
Thank you very
about your
much.
life, your story, and I'm sure that people will not only be inspired by this, but people will realize that life is not meant to be stopped at any point, no matter what comes your way. I think that is the biggest takeaway, at least from me. If there are two takeaways apart from your illustrious and glistening career, they are that hurdles are not meant to stop you, but hurdles are meant to further stoke your growth in life. So do not be
Exactly.
dissuaded, or do not be dejected if you face any hurdle, but rather take it as uh, a block to grow from further. And I think that it has been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
and I wish you all the success, and I hope that your dream of winning 100 medals is achieved soon, and we can sit once again like this and we can talk about those 100 medals then.
Sure.
And Jai
Sure,
Hind, Patil Saab.
Thank you.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया,
Thank you,
धन्यवाद आपने।
Gaurav and Yash.
round of applause for you sir.
Thank you very much for interviewing me on Sports Grill, and it's my pleasure to have on a Sports Grill platform. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless. Thanks.